Hello and welcome to round 2 coverage from the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship presented by Latitude 64. We're back again at Milo McIver for Friday action, and you're watching JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
What a gorgeous day we have in store for round 2. But before we get to the action, I just wanted to know, Paul, Nate, did you know that DGN just launched a new free tier so you can experience the network without putting any credit card info? You can watch the first 3 rounds of the 2025 Northwest Disc Golf Championship live for free on DGN Free. The new DGN Free tier also gets video on-demand access to select live content included in the standard plan 1 week after its live release. Did you guys know that?
No.
Well, now you do. Okay, Paul Ulibarri. Wow, you did it, my friend. 11 under, played incredible. You've got the lead going into round 2. This is going to be an awesome day. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's start off with a tough one. Little par 3, 455 in length. Nate, I think you hit the nail on the head yesterday saying, hey, this is mid-round, kind of a nice little hole. You're warmed up. Nope, right out the gates, big bomb. Tough little shape, too. Drift it from left to right. Let's see if McBeth can show us what to do. Gets it over. Drifting nice.
That's the perfect shape.
Skip. Okay, circle's edge.
Didn't go quite the distance, but wide open putt. And I think that you take that over circle's edge from inside the tree.
Oh, catch that. Great start for Paul McBeth.
From Rock Hill, South Carolina, with 119 PDGA wins, including the 2024 Ulibarri Safari. Sitting down, Paul Ulibarri.
The Ulibarri Safari, man. What a dub, honestly.
Prestigious.
A lot of people
Prestigious win.
A lot of people have been chasing that one.
That's up in Idaho, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Boise.
Boise. Goes up there every year, still runs that tournament.
Yeah, no flip on this one,
Yeah,
guys.
it's still moving though.
You know, it's better than just being short behind the little awkward lie. You know, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
From Austin, Texas, with 128 career wins and winner of the 2022 Preserve Championship, sitting in 9 down, Bradley Williams.
How many career wins?
I think they said 130 something.
Wow.
Yeah.
He at one time held the record for most PDGA wins, open wins in a season. It's like 27 or something crazy.
Whoa.
Just ripping the Texas scene.
A little bit more force over than we see from most players, and a more stable disc as well. Because even with the force over start, he's kind of over there in Uli territory.
So a little insider info. We were feeling a little cross breeze. It doesn't look like there's anything.
Beaver State Fling champion from Boulder, Colorado, currently at 8 down, Eagle McMahon.
And so I think it fooled both of us. Mm-hmm. We were like, oh, we feel that felt like a left to right cross win.
Let's see if Eagle can judge the shot properly. Keep it low, line drive. For a player with this much power, they can get there without having to give it too much height. Avoid all the low ceiling. Just like that.
Yeah.
Just a zipper.
Got to stop somehow.
Yeah. Those bushes will help slow it down.
That thing came out so fast.
Scottsdale, Arizona, with 132 wins and winner of the 2024 Preserve Championship. Currently at 8 down, Ricky Wysocki.
Sunny day. Highs in the upper 80s. Ricky come out here in the sun hat. Does he get the corner? Yeah, with some help.
Yeah, a nice little push off to have an open look there.
Layup the whole way.
Yeah, there's those branches on the right, and I just kept thinking,
Yeah.
monkey paw right into the branches,
sure.
30-footer.
And first hole.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Brad's got an opportunity to give this one a little bit of an effort, which he does, but ends up being a layup. Brad is kind of like a fine wine in disc golf, man. The guy is, I think, still at his prime. He's 1 year away from being Masters eligible.
Oh, what a putt there.
Nice start.
In the thick rough. Talked about that yesterday. You can find it on almost every hole. All of a sudden, you're like, I feel like that hole's kind of wide open. Nope.
Super
Low
fair
seat.
greens.
Yep.
I really like how they're blocked off in certain parts at each hole. Beautiful putt. We just witnessed 1/8 of the entire field's birdies on hole 1. Only 16 on the day.
Okay, was it playing over par today or dead even?
A little bit over par.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. Yesterday was playing even, and today with
More birdies.
conditions. Yeah.
It was 12.
12. Yeah, 12 yesterday and 16 today. But
What are we doing over here?
Maybe a lost mini or something, I think.
All right.
okay.
I don't know. They were over there for a minute.
Just an assumption. Eagle being from Boulder, I've got to imagine he's got a wooden mini. I don't know why I think that, but that blends in with the entire Milo McIver
Maybe it's
State
made
Park.
of stone.
Or stone. Yeah, one of those two, but it's got to be natural. Our Patreon disc winner, folks, Zach Wygant, you have won the first ever Cicada as our Jomez practice round giveaway. The disc that Paul was rolling. You'd probably be throwing it for roller in this hole, probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3.
Hopefully 3. 1,200 feet. It plays forever. It's called the Monster for good reason. New OB added on the left side walking path. This is a par 5 that plays 0.46 over par. Very appropriately named.
Wow, really wide. This might need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, he's going to cough up a lot of distance, but not going to be behind any sizable tree. It's going to take a big second shot to get back into position.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that went less than 350.
Yeah.
Like, sort of shockingly. And this just goes off a root, and he's in a similar spot.
Yeah, not the best first 2 rollers. You've been known to lay down a good roller or 2, Paul. See if you can make the correction. This looks much better.
Yeah, you would think it
It's
looks
going
better.
quick right, quick right.
Oh, boy.
Short of the tee pad.
Safe, though.
Yeah, I'm safe, but I'm like, I might be a little farther than those guys. It wasn't great. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to be right, but yeah, I kind of missed the angle on that one.
If this gets away
needs to
from
get
that
down.
corner, yeah, that's pushing it.
This looks like the best of the bunch.
Watch out
Wow,
for
that's
Octopus.
far.
Yeah, he
Oh, it's past Octopus, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's not a good lie, but that's a very far shot.
in person, the thing launched out of his hand really fast. I was very surprised.
Wow.
Eagle to get back into position. This looks like maybe a concession of just playing it for par.
I think that's really smart. I don't think you can do a lot from where he was positive. Like, if you try to speed up on something and rip it, like, where on earth is it going to go from here that you love?
There's a reason why this is the hardest hole on the course. Players get a little bit too greedy out of position.
I love the change by making the out of bounds on the left because everybody would be just going massive anhysers around to the left
Sure.
side. There was a lot of open space up high, but now it forces you to kind of go down those really tight tunnels.
All right, what are you left with here, Paul?
Just not a lot. I'm gonna throw something very understable. I ranged where this basically goes out of bounds at 400. Right about there. I ranged this green guy at 400. So I was like, I don't think I can throw this roller 400, and I was barely right.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Good thing. All right, off to the right side, off to the left side. A little bit of Army golf so far. Probably left with around 400 in. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think a little more.
Yeah, a little more.
Yeah, a little more. I think it was like 450 probably.
Man, if this somehow beat this bush that he's in, that's like one of the farthest drives I've ever seen.
Yes. No, I'm telling you, the height that he put on that sky roller was very, very high.
Is he behind another tree now?
Yeah, I'd say that's the most important tree on the hole, you know, for those second shots. It's all about trying to beat that one. And Eagle is going to get aggressive from here.
Okay.
It looked good.
It looked really good.
I think, considering it hit a tree going 60 miles an hour, good result. It could have gone OB.
Right.
A lot of bad things could have happened to a roller glancing off that tree, but it keeps going forward.
Well, let's see what this one does and judge it accordingly.
Pine cones. Lots of pine cones. Did you see it just sky up into the...
Oh, no. Come on. What a shot. Unreal.
Around that bush. That's
and now he's
crazy.
got an outside look at the huge birdie.
Yeah, if you rewind that, it hits the pine cones and goes 60 feet up in the air.
Yeah,
No
I missed
way.
that.
Yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
that. Well, the end result is inbounds barely. Crossing back over the OB line, moving at 2 miles an hour. So Brad not directly behind that tree, but certainly way out of position of getting the birdie now.
I think he could have got there from there, honestly.
Really?
He hits a tree. Yeah, I saw similar spots yesterday. I was in a similar spot yesterday, and you can play it to about 60 feet left.
Yeah, I mean, it's right. Getting to deep C2, I guess, still counts.
Yeah, watch this, though. You ever seen anything in the Clackamas?
Yeah, this is going way right.
Is it?
Yeah,
No.
but it might have stayed safe. But it was going way right.
Yeah, that was in the river.
Oh,
but
my
I got
gosh.
the greatest break.
Saved
This-
by the fence.
Yes.
Love
It
it.
was
Wow.
awesome. I don't think I've ever been more happy in my life.
Yeah, that disc is not only gone, but you're suffering a stroke penalty.
That just needs to be gone after those two rollers, I think.
Good approach shot from Eagle, par secured.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to be up next. Yeah. Okay, Paul going with the zone approach.
I honestly think with breaks like that, they can be complete round shifters because, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I'm feeling nervous at this point. I throw 3 just absolutely horrific rollers, and then you're looking at bogey at best from that spot. It's a complete dynamic changer.
Absolutely. And also, like, for a lot of guys, I would say if you go out of bounds there, you're throwing that zone shot. Like, are you mentally strong enough to still put it right
Exactly.
there? Or are you kind of starting to tilt at this point, and now maybe you leak that out to 29 feet, miss that? It can turn into a lot of strokes fast.
100%.
All right, this is what Ricky has left. Outside look for the big birdie. Great effort.
Yeah, good height going by there.
Brad hit the annoying entry tree. He's going to be left with probably just inside circle's edge for the par. I really don't think he's thrown a bad shot yet. No, he's outside the circle for par.
Okay, so insider info on this one. He hit the tree on that putt.
Really?
Yes. We were standing behind
What?
him making fun of him because he hit the tree. And it
And
bounced.
he just said, I don't think anyone's going to know if you guys don't say
Yeah,
anything.
I told him I'm ratting you out. Because we're sitting right behind him and it just goes twink right in. And we're like,
Oh my goodness.
don't act like
Yeah.
That
you know,
bush
that didn't just
totally
happen.
shrouded that.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't see anything.
You got to look at him and say, you're playing with the wrong guy,
Yeah.
brother. I'm going to be in the recording studio tonight.
oh, me and Rick got a hoot out of that for sure.
Oh my goodness. This card, man, so much experience. going to Gannon Burr once again, starting off by birding the first two. And this one is turned over and out of bounds long.
I didn't know there was even OB back there. That's not something that comes to mind.
I don't think Gannon knew there's OB back there either. He's looking at the T sign and was kind of confused by it. Nothing confusing about that.
Casually.
So casual. Just doesn't get bothered by that kind of stuff.
I think one of the things about...
we almost saw I hit the tree.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, playing in Oregon, especially on nice days, you see a lot of great putts because the wind is down and you can just be so creative. If you're on, you can just put it out to your most comfortable spot and not have to like force the issue. And it looked like Gannon did that on the last putt.
A shout out real quick as we see a look at that scorecard. Luke Taylor in with a 10 under par, jumping way up the leaderboard. That's going to move down a little bit as the day progresses, but good for him to get back in the action. He told me after he finishes round that he's going to do it again tomorrow, and we're going to start talking about him.
Oh. Might as well get ahead of the game. I like that.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to do. Not quite flippy enough, but it does get nice stand up and tracks a decent way down there. It's going to be inside 40 feet for the birdie. I feel like you can find yourself at that distance quite often on this course. That's why Milo McIver gets you. When you just don't quite get all the way into those 25-foot putts and you find yourself at the 45 to 50-foot range all day long, it can be a very long day at the course.
Yeah, this looks like a good one.
Yeah, it was solid. It kind of slipped out a little bit, but kind of crept up into the circle.
Mm-hmm. You love that result. Anything that gets near the little mound, you're usually pretty happy with off the tee.
Bradley just a dime. He's got a game that's really built for this course. Left to right, drifting shots that land kind of soft.
And he's really been putting well.
Yes.
Like these last few weeks, months, I think he's been fantastic from that mid-circle 2 range.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of mid-circle 2.
Yeah, I
Not
think
even interested in watching
Bradley
that one.
traveling with Calvin, I think that does it to you.
Yeah.
Like you got to all of a sudden shape up. Otherwise, you're just, even in practice, getting absolutely walloped. And I think we're seeing that from Bradley.
Yep.
That was about as sure a thing as it gets right there from Rick.
Yeah, that was one of the best putts I've ever seen, I think. He just
So
grabbed the
good.
mini.
Yeah.
MJ style. Watched about one half of the flight, and that's all he needed.
Yeah, I've never seen him do that either.
I know, it's not really a Rick mannerism, but brought it out there.
Chase him.
He chases him down with those legs high.
Yeah.
All right. Is this inside the circle? Looks like about 29 feet.
Yeah, just barely in the circle right there.
That was a zippy move. Brad in for the birdie. Eagle the only one missing out on the star frame. Paul still out in front at 12 under.
Hole 4, par 4, 635. OB down the left side, which eventually wraps to the back side of the green. You'd like to keep this thing pretty far away from that tough rough on the right side. Leave yourself in the center of the fairway, then throw the blind approach. Big high forehand, a great option for that. Got to be one of the easiest holes on the course, eh, Jerm?
Yeah, it's one of the easiest holes. 0.24 under. That's, the third easiest.
Okay.
Ricky's going flex play, trying to leave himself on that left side, and I think he's done so very, very well.
Yeah, a lot of distance, too.
You say keep yourself in the middle of the fairway, but if you could put it anywhere, I think most players would choose left half of the fairway.
Yeah.
Just to be overly specific.
This is overcooked.
Oh, yeah.
Tough from there.
Yeah, we saw Simon do it yesterday, you know?
Yep. It's kind of
it's totally doable.
It all depends where you are as far as like how many branches are right above your head.
Right.
Because you need to be able to get out with a lot of height to move it right. Sometimes on that right side, you're pretty hemmed in. Other times you get lucky, have an opportunity to do something.
That was very smooth from Brad. Not a ton of distance, but that doesn't really matter on this hole. Just proper placement is key.
Eagle going with the hyzer play.
Not a lot of players do that, but I like that
No.
play for the hyzer flip if you got a lot of control with it. That one doesn't get a lot of distance, but with Eagle's forehand, I think he should be okay to have a good second shot.
Yeah, after he did that, I was like, man, I should have just done that, you know, the hindsight type deal after I
Sure.
just shouled it into the woods.
Sure.
Next year. Oh, no.
Just long.
And from our vantage point, it looked great. But
did
I
look
think
great.
that's the Eagle problem is like a baby little flick just goes so far.
And you are too far in there to get aggressive.
Yeah, I could have done it. And I told myself, you're not Simon. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
That's the problem with commentary sometimes. You get to see some of the wildest shots chosen, and it oftentimes works out for the guys who are on the feature cards, and then you go try to do it yourself, and then you realize, well, you're doing commentary, and there's just this whole balance there.
Well, I think what really helped was watching Eagle, and it looked so good. And he went out of bounds, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, had he
if
not been
that's-
first.
If that's not good,
Yeah.
then there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect from Rick.
That's about as ideal as a play gets on hole 4. Rick's tee shot was pretty much perfect. The approach, perfect.
I did kind of find myself feeling a little strange today relating to what you said, Jerm, about try again next year, in that playing at Milo, you're generally playing a tournament that's only at Milo. And I did find myself kind of catching myself and going, oh yeah, I guess I won't do it tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Like thinking about a correction.
Yeah.
And going, oh no, actually, I guess we are done here for the year.
A little sad.
That's
No
a
way.
great putt there from Eagle.
That was a nice save.
Something nice about playing a course 4 times and always knowing until you get to that final round that you've got a chance to improve, or you know what to do again next time.
Yeah. Would you guys have rather played the West course over there? Or what is it? East and West, right? Over at
Played
Glendoveer?
both of them.
Or do you like sneaking this one in? If you only get one tournament here.
If you get across
Yeah.
town, I think this is the way to do it. Personally.
Yeah, I really don't like that Glendoveer West. So I'm happy with the courses. But yeah, I'm biased. I would prefer to have 2 tournaments.
Oh,
Get the hop right out of that.
look at that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That could have hit any other inch in that area and stayed OB, but great shot from Kyle in the end.
Seems like Gannon has just got this hole on lock. A lot of power. Hyzer doesn't go anywhere near that stuff
Ooh,
and
nice agility from our spotter.
can just throw it. So far they just throws it in the backstop.
Yeah.
Just going to check in with the entire chase card here.
Ooh.
Oh,
Back
sneaks
door,
it
gets
through.
for most players on this course, this is a decision maker hole, but not for this card.
That looks simple.
Gannon is off to a fiery start and is throwing the proper number of strokes on every hole, just with the one OB stroke back on hole 3.
Looks like Calvin's kind of doing the same thing, but got caught with a little bogey in there.
Yep. And Kyle Klein also.
Is that almost a star frame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very tough hole to imagine a star frame on.
Rewind that little slow-mo of Bradley and learn that if you're watching at home.
Seriously. About as picture perfect as it gets. We talk about it every time he makes it on the lead card, but it's just worth noting. Everything is so sound, simple, fundamental.
What we got?
Par 4, 630. Nice low ceiling straight shot to start. You'd like to work the disc a little bit left if you're fortunate enough or skilled enough to kind of get it out that last gap into the sunlight. And then you've got to cross over that OB road, swinging back a little bit to the right to the basket. Early release from Rick.
Another hole where a left to right shaper really suits up well, and Brad just does what Brad does.
Yeah, I mean,
Hits a gap down the fairway. That is striped.
Gets through those last tiny little limbs. Only things that could have done anything about that one.
That was a beautiful shot, Paul.
yeah, a little too far. You know, it makes
Would
up for
rather swing
yeah,
left.
Yeah.
Give me that problem. I'll take that problem. But this is going to be making the correction. Oh,
no,
minus the
that's-
limb.
That's better.
That's
I think.
good, yeah.
Yeah. The farther left you are, the more wide open, and you don't have to go over the road as much.
Especially if you want to throw backhand on the second.
Yeah.
Ricky's going to have to play this for position. Should be fine.
That's your brother-in-law.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
This always trips me out.
Bradley with another dime.
Well, that was
as you
going to
can
be good
play it.
without that
Yeah.
limb.
Yeah.
That was just money.
Eagle's still going with the forehand play from here, and I think it's actually a harder shot from over here because those limbs kind of come into play on the left, you know? And he's going with a putter shot.
Oh,
and flipping
turnover.
It. Yeah. And does pretty well.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, just an interesting shot, I
Yeah,
thought,
it
even
is.
there.
Also going forehand stomper. That one comes up just outside circle's edge.
Wanted to stay away from the curb.
Smart. Those curbs are brutal out here at Milo, man. Here and comes in on the evil genius hole. Just hardly ever see anything touch road and land safe. Just got a little work left to save the par. Otherwise, good shot.
I'm trying to find something that goes less far, but I don't know what.
A couple steps outside the circle. Call it 42 feet. Call it good.
Nice.
Knew that one out the hand.
Yeah, that one came out nice and crispy.
Now you're breathing a little easier.
Yeah.
That looks like the putt of someone who's won 119 tournaments.
I mean, I don't know. I've only ever been me, but it's never been easy to play with the lead at a big tournament. I haven't been in the lead at that many big tournaments, and I think for the three of us sitting here, it's been a while since any of us has been in that position. So can certainly forgive you for starting out feeling some nerves. I think that's only natural. And
I think you should feel those nerves.
You get a few under par, you can kind of start to settle in, and then you're just kind of out there playing with some guys that you've played with a million times and just try to execute the plan. Eagle just misses Ricky.
Oh, without
right
a
in the
doubt,
heart.
man. I couldn't even feel my body at some points early in the round, and making the putt on 3 really helped. And then making that one, like you said, it just calms you down, and then you're like, oh yeah, 2 under.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's not that's not
everything's
the
fine.
greatest start I ever could have had, but it's fine, and we're just moving
Yeah.
on now.
Because I think that can be the first thing that leaves you is the putt when the nerves hit.
Sure.
You miss that one, you miss this one, all of a sudden you're even, and you feel like, you're so far behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
Eagle just unable to capitalize on a couple putts so far. That one edge of circle, similar to the putt he had on 1 that he made for the birdie. At this point, we have got a 3-way tie at the top at 13 under.
Well, we just saw Gannon and Kyle
And Calvin.
and Calvin all get the bird here. It's 455. I'm guessing about 430 to clear. Low ceiling right here. You kind of have to take on these trees on the right, which is kind of scary. Or you can lay it up short. I've seen that play a bunch. If you do have the power, I don't feel like it's that scary missing left because you got that backstop behind there. But that's a long ways to use the backstop. Bradley just going mid-range off the tee right here and throwing it absolutely perfect again.
That's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, he's so in control.
Doesn't always have to be pedal to the metal to appreciate good disc golf, and that's just good disc golf right there.
Yeah.
This is pedal to the metal, baby. Where is that thing? Oh, come on.
Awesome
Bullseye?
shot.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
great.
What were your thoughts as this thing came ripping out of the hand?
Oh, just don't hit the branches. I love the line. I don't think I could have really thrown it any better as far as the power that I have, but it almost went in the hole.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
really
goodness.
did.
Yeah. Which I was very surprised about. I mean, it missed maybe a foot right and high.
Wow.
That would have been an all-timer ace. This is looking very similar. Very, very
Yes.
good. No.
What? Did it hit
What
the
did he
stump?
hit?
I think he did. I mean, we get up there and the spotter says that he hit just the ground and came back, but judging by that, it definitely hit the stump.
It sure
Like
looked
the
like
branch
it.
to the right.
Yeah,
There's
those
that,
little
like-
branches
yeah.
moved.
That
Brutal.
if that doesn't work, then I don't know what works. That was gorgeous.
But he's going to get to take it on the good side.
Yes.
And it's nearly a tap in for the par from there. But yeah, that's an unfortunate.
Yeah, see that little branch right there coming up
Yeah.
on the left? I'm almost positive he hit that. Eagle gets a good break and stays in bounds.
Now, with Brad's layup, he actually still has a good opportunity to give this a run from 80 feet.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. If you have a disc that can
Oh.
that you have dialed at 400 feet, leave it short. You got a nice backstop behind there. You can be aggressive with the putt.
Eagle also, same opportunity. Good backstop behind. You can get pretty aggressive here.
I made what I think is likely to go down as my putt of the year on this hole today.
For the two?
Yeah, from a forehand layup, just like 90 short and like right, so that you couldn't go straight at the basket. Just super high anhyzer
Oh my goodness.
and went right in. It was fun.
So it wasn't even a Papa Nate style. It was,
It was a
kind of
dart.
like-
It was like a
dart throwy.
Anheuser,
Yeah.
like 15 feet high, like just drifting right.
Were
was
you
nothing like-
surprised, or did it look good the whole way?
It looked pretty good, but I was still surprised. I mean, it's
Yeah.
from 90, so,
Yeah.
and it's turning the whole way, so you don't know. It wasn't like your shot where you kind of know. You're parked. Mine had a lot more guessing games going on, but was thrilled either way.
So the team went 200 today. On 06.
Yeah, I like that. Great birdie for you.
Well, 2 in a row now. 14 under. Very least, that's going to keep you at the top, if not.
Yeah,
put
I
you
like
back
that
on
one. The
top.
fellas at the house were making fun of me not being able to get over on this one.
Well, look at that thing. That thing didn't have any flutter on it the second it left your hand. That's a beautiful release.
And so to get this one is some trash talk.
Yeah, you got
skills,
to. Yeah, you
know,
almost say
with the
so.
fellas.
Yeah.
Shut up, Anthony.
Yeah.
So you got it with a Luna. Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
This hole is a brutal one. Hole 7 is par 3, 420 feet. Just got to drill one at the ground here, trying to go kind of where the drone's going right now. And then you just kind of hope that you get a little bit of a skip, get near 40 feet or so. And every once in a while, one pokes through and gets into bullseye. I've seen it happen a few times before, but highly technical shot. Big time bonus birdie. Kind of
Oh,
Like
I love it.
that.
Where is it? In
buddy.
the circle, surely.
I'm pretty sure it's bullseye.
Yeah, that
I was there.
sounds about right.
Yeah. I was surprised. I thought I would be about 20 feet because I hit that little branch and being there on the pad, it looked like it wrapped it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking for it when we walked down there, and then I saw it in the bullseye. And
Oh my
Isn't
goodness.
that a good feeling
it
when
was,
that
it was
happens?
awesome, yeah.
This
Bradley-
is also exactly what you're looking for off the tee. Just something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he just hits those lines, you know? It's not going quick. It's just
Yeah.
using the whole disc flight to his advantage.
Just fine. Not great, but fine. Eagle. A little slow since the early birdie.
Very flippy disc.
Going the straight at it route. Very ambitious.
Yeah, a little more height, and I think that's all the way home, but doesn't get the ground play that he wants. Just throwing a little layup here.
Fortunately, fights through on the other side of that bush. Otherwise, he might have had a tricky 20-footer.
Ricky's just doing anything he can to get a look there. It's such a scary green to go full at it like
Totally.
that because you
Yeah.
can roll to a spot where you can't make it.
Yeah, from like 17, 18 feet, you can get yourself in real trouble on that left side.
Brad gives it a go. Good line. Just a bit high.
Yeah, great drive here.
Just outside bullseye.
That's grabbing a stroke on most of the field there.
Think about the last two. Like, you didn't even have to putt. That's not many people are getting out of there with 2 birdies, much less not even having to clutch up and make anything, just
Right.
doing it all with the drive.
In your face, Austin Turner. Well, certified good start now.
Yeah.
4 under through 6 holes. Wait,
7.
7 holes, sorry.
7.
yeah, that's good. That's beating the card on lead card. And now you are back up to your 2-shot lead.
Yeah, I mean those, like you guys said, those are bonus birdies. You get those ones, and you're pulling away from probably people on your card. Not a lot of people are getting both those in a row. But moving on to hole 8, par 4, 850, the famous, albatross hole. hyzer out the gate, and then you just have to shape something in between these two trees. High, low, whatever you can do to get around this corner and give yourself a look. Classic hole that's always going to be tough.
Nice skip left. Good distance. I've been wanting to see who's getting it out there farther. Uli or Bradley these days.
My money's
It's Bradley. It's Bradley this time.
Bradley booms it sometimes.
Yeah. That's a good battle, though.
I honestly don't think it's close. Bradley throws it really
He does
far.
throw it really far.
Yeah.
You're right.
Not as far as this guy.
You guys are in a great order where we could just kind of see, like, here's a good drive. And here's 130 farther. And here's 130 farther. And here's one even 30 farther than that.
And yeah, finally get to eagle. Zing.
Yeah, it might be 45 farther.
That is moving.
Yeah, it's almost where the slope's going up.
That's nearly as good of a drive as you can even throw on this tee shot. And it's, disguised as just a simple hyzer, but the placement on it is truly perfect. Sets up the best angle for the second shot.
Ooh, nice. Does it have enough turn? Not quite.
Almost.
And
that's not.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt you.
Does not hurt you. I mean,
Bouncing out a little, maybe
Yeah.
let you putt.
almost got a little unlucky that that last bit of grass stopped you from continuing rolling to an open putt.
Hey, we take that. We miss the angle just by fraction, and that's what it's like on this hole. You miss by a fraction and you're done.
This guy doesn't usually miss angles by fractions or by any at all.
Yep. Another quality shot. A little higher, I think he's golden, but
A lot has to go right to
Yeah.
make that gap and then work it all the way back to the pin. Look at the extreme angle Rick takes here.
yeah, you see, like, that looks fantastic inside.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever stood on a wider fairway than the fairway here on 8 and had a shot like these guys have here and been more confused by what I'm about to try to do.
Oh, it's a really hard shot. And the tree that Eagle is going past right now, I remember when that tree was 20 feet tall, 25 feet tall, and you could go straight over it. And that just isn't how this hole works anymore. I mean, it's really grown in to be a difficult shot. And I think kind of standing the test of time and staying tough, even staying at that par 4 number, people aren't really gobbling this one up.
It's just that another Milo McIver distance right there, man. That is a distance you can find yourself at all day long, and it wears on you. It's wearing on Ego right now. It's going to be 7 straight pars with so many looks for birdie. And that would have been one heck of a birdie to pick up.
Just a complete whiff job.
Pretty whiffy.
Yeah.
Pretty whiffy.
Yeah, no birds on this one. Surprising. You usually get one guy who gets through and makes one, but just a well-guarded hole. What's it coming in at on
Well, it's averaging quite a
Statistics.
bit over par, 2-1 over, 0.21, and yeah, only 18. Wait, no, that's not right. 15 birdies on the day.
That seems like even that seems like a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. When it was the Albatross hole, it was a par 5. Nothing's changed. That tree's gotten bigger. The par's gotten smaller.
Yep.
So you'd always see 5, 6, 7 threes. You wouldn't see 15.
Yeah, I remember.
That's a big number.
I think it's a great par 4. Just
I do too.
I'm with you.
all-timer.
But I remember when it first switched from par 5, and I remember we didn't quite know it was a great par 4 yet back then.
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Are you kidding me?" And now it makes sense as the game has
It
grown.
was paving the way.
Yeah.
For the par 5s, it should be par 4s.
Apologies
Just hold
to
on.
Calvin for glossing over
Yeah,
his
beautiful shot.
absolute park job on the dream hole. The hole these guys are about to play. Calvin's off to a good start, 6 down through 9. Connor rocks 7 down through 13. He's working his way up the leaderboard.
I feel like we've just seen Calvin. Maybe that's why just absolutely dime this over and over and over again in the past.
Not surprising.
No, 442 down the hill though. It's a tough one to dime. It really plays tricks on you. It plays a little farther than you think, so then you bump up to a faster disc, and then the clackamus comes into play behind
it
it.
does.
So it's a confusing one. You want to kind of hug the left side and late drift it is like the perfect play. Ooh, I got a 3-angle guy here. Side, back, and then maybe front.
Man,
Well,
Paul.
it was worth it. It
What?
was worth it.
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me, man? On a string. What'd you throw?
That was a drive. Yeah, just like a probably I think it's a 10-speed, something like that.
One of Paige's
Maybe
favorite
11.
discs.
Yeah.
And you don't even really work it right much at all. Just counting on the straight shot. Throw it hard, throw it low.
That's a perfect shot. That was gorgeous.
I see a guy who parked 2 hard holes, then whiffed a putt and said, "That was stupid. I got to get back to my
Yeah,
winning ways here."
Parking is so
Yeah,
much easier.
It is so much easier than having to do all that putting stuff.
Brad just kind of gave up on the angle just a bit. Didn't quite give the full commitment on the send.
It just needs to sit down. Sometimes they can get watery when you throw this hole a little bit too soft.
Yeah, he was saying, I think that's in the river.
Similar treatment for Rick.
Slower disc, perhaps. Oh, and it sneaks through.
Yeah, not a bad spot.
No.
He was worried about the river as
And
well.
he's going to be long enough that he's not going to have the blockers.
Yeah, that's a kind of a rare result.
See if Eagle can get off the schneid here. Doesn't look like it. And the
no.
frustration definitely starting to set in here. It just,
Great kick.
yeah.
I wasn't saying that was a great. I was saying the kick off the tree. But that was a solid kick. I don't know if I put it in the great category. It was a solid kick.
Oh, man.
One great kick deserves another.
Yeah.
And that will secure the par. And nothing more frustrating than 8 straight pars on any course. I feel like it just really wears on you. You'd love to just get maybe a birdie and a bogey, even if it's the same score, just some sort of excitement.
I feel like that's what this course does. Is it you can go on a par streak like nobody else,
Yeah.
to where you're having to kind of lay up then to get to the spot.
I'd say it lulls you to sleep, but it's tough to sleep when you're that angry. Ricky with a wide open look, hasn't had a birdie since hole 4, and takes advantage of the open look and the good result. Solid number on the front 9. I think you got to stay at that 4 under per 9 rate if you want to stay in the mix heading into the weekend at Milo. 16 down in total, I think, is going to be a good number to circle. Keep you on those top 2 cards, perhaps.
Brad, my caddy, always says if you're inside the bullseye on a drive, you got to feed the driver. He said he did all that work.
Sure.
Don't go up there with the putter.
Sure.
Feed it to the drivers.
driver.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
Looking again and making the correction from the day before, and it's a good correction.
Oh, man.
Talked about not only do you have to have the right disc, and you have to have the right skill, you have to have the right disc. And Paul, you said he's got the right disc, and he proved it today. Yesterday he shanked it a little bit right, makes the correction.
It's so hard to throw that shot and leave it in the right in the bullseye right there because they all
So
want to
hard.
skip left, you know?
Yeah, to get it to continuously flip up flat straight. Paul still holding things down, 2-shot lead after 27 holes. This is getting really, really fun for me. I'm loving it.
Absolutely.
A lot of old school names up there at the top. This is a fun event so far.
Yeah, a lot of the scoring conditions are just absolutely perfect. As you can see down the leaderboard, there's a lot of people 7-6, 5 under at that mark. So you got to keep it going. Back nine's no different. You got to keep it going and get a bunch more birdies.
And I want to say shout out to Dustin Keegan, just coming off of doing all the stuff that he does with the Uplay. Hasn't played a ton of tournaments the last couple of years. Comes out here and he's still in the top 20. So shout out to Dustin Keegan, a Eugene guy who's always done very well in Oregon. It's just fun to see friends play well, and he's playing really great. And I just want to know, Nate, any advice for our viewers?
No. Like or subscribe. Don't do both.